Later, Maharaj doesn't bite, so everyone can come a little closer. We got a nice gap in front of the Vyas on there, so everyone can close in here.
So now, Hare Krishna. Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanacharya. Jamuna Tira Vanacharya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Gora Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
This room will fill up if everyone moves a little bit this way. Pretend like it's an Indian bus. Plenty of room. Because it'll fill up, I guarantee you. So actually it means you, not the person next to you. Move this way. There's a nice spot here. Because you'll see the room will fill up. Thank you.
Jai. Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayamudiraye Nasta prayesha vadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtaki Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Let us read from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 1, questions by Vidura. Text 25. Savasudevanucharam prashantam Brihaspate praktanayam pratitam Alingyagadam pranayena bhadram Swanam aprichad bhagavat prajanam. Then, to his great love and feeling, Vidura embraced him, Uddhava, who was a constant companion of Lord Krishna, and formerly great student of Brihaspatis. Vidura then asked him for news of the family of Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Purport. Vidura was older than Uddhava, like a father, and therefore when the two met, Uddhava bowed down before Vidura, and Vidura embraced him because Uddhava was younger, like a son. Vidura's brother Pandu was Lord Krishna's uncle. And Uddhava was a cousin to Lord Krishna. According to social custom, therefore, Vidura was to be respected by Uddhava on the level of his father. Uddhava was a great scholar in logic, and he was known to be a son or disciple of Brihaspati, the greatly learned priest and spiritual master of the demigods. Vidura asked Uddhava about the welfare of his relatives, although he already knew that they were no longer in the world. This inquiry appears to be very queer, but Srila Jiva Goswami said that the news was shocking to Vidura, who therefore inquired again due to great curiosity. Thus his inquiry was psychological and not practical. So, the pastimes of Lord Krishna are of two kinds, Naimittika Lila and Nitya Lila. Naimittika means occasional. Like, for example, killing demons. Only happens when Krishna comes to this world. In the spiritual world, there are no demons. The demons become devotees when they go there. Like Putana, for example. She came to kill Krishna when he was only 3 months old by putting a very powerful poison in her breast for Krishna to suck. And of course, she was a witch. She was sucking the blood of many children. She killed many children. And she was sent by Kamsa to kill Krishna. But she assumed a beautiful form, like a young, beautiful girl, 16 years old, very nice looking, innocent looking. So when she asked to hold Krishna in her arms, nobody suspected anything wrong. She just handed him to her. Krishna, as soon as he saw her, he closed his eyes for three reasons. One reason, he didn't want to see her face. He was angry at her because she killed many children. He could see beyond the appearance. He could see the heart. He could see the real face, not others. One name of Krishna is Baba Grahi Janardana, that he's in the heart, he knows everybody's feeling, intention. So he knew who she really was. So he didn't want to see her ugly face, so he closed his eyes. Another reason he closed his eyes was that in the Vedas it is forbidden to kill a woman. And because she was a demon, he had to kill her. So he closed his eyes for that reason too. Another reason he closed his eyes was to give her confidence that he's a tiny baby, harmless baby. She could kill easily. So he closed his eyes like he's sleeping, innocent little boy, to give her confidence that she can do it. So as soon as she tried to do that by pushing her breast into Krishna's mouth to suck, powerful poison, 1 drop can kill elephant. Of course, Krishna, although he was only 3 months old, he didn't die, but he was sucking the life out of her body, the life air from her body. And she felt that. She felt that. So she tried to push him away, but Krishna grabbed it more strongly, will not let her go. So she ran out of the house shouting, leave me alone, you know. See, but no, Krishna sucked her life air, and she assumed a real form, gigantic form. She felt like a hill, you know, making a big noise. All the people came out of their house to see what happened. They saw those monsters lying there. And Krishna, like a baby playing, you know, at her chest, you know, like he hasn't done anything wrong, you know. So, And Krishna is so kind and merciful that he gave her a position as a mother, as a nurse in Golok, as an assistant to Mother Yashoda there. Because Krishna said, oh, she coming as mother, offering her breast milk, so I should give her that also. And this has to do with her previous life. In her past life, her name was Ratnamala, and she was Bali Maharaj's sister. When Lord Vamanadev came into the yagya to ask for alms from Bali, she was there. As soon as she saw Vamanadev, she felt so much motherly love. Oh, such a beautiful boy. I wish to have him as my son, to give him my breast milk. She felt so much motherly love for him. And the Lord confirmed in her heart, yes, your desire will be fulfilled. But then, when Bali Maharaj gave the 3 steps to Vamanadev, and he took the form Vishvarupa, and with 2 steps he covered the whole universe, she became angry at him, that this boy took away everything from us. If I had poison, I will poison him. So the 2 desires came together as Putana. But Krishna took only the good part. Oh, she's coming as mother. The demon part, I will free her from that. See how kind and merciful Krishna is, even to the demons. What to speak to the devotees who want to develop their love and attachment to him. How much more is awaiting all of them. So when Vidura and Uddhava met, of course they remember each other, Krishna. Immediately, oh, here is a pure devotee of Krishna. So they felt ecstasy by meeting each other, and they discussed about Krishna. Here the question that Vidura is putting is psychological more than practical, because he knew already that Krishna took all his family members and went back to the spiritual world. But he was in shock, still trying to understand that. So he asked the question again about Krishna's welfare. And you know the story, that Krishna decided to take all his family members back home, back to Godhead with him. But for the world, he has to give some, good reason. They can't just disappear in thin air, So he wanted to give a reason, a logical reason for the world. So once the princess of the Yadu dynasty, they wanted to play a joke on the sages. So they disguised Samba, Krishna's son, as a woman. He dressed in a sari, and they put a big pillow on his belly like pregnant, So they wanted to cut a joke on this rishis and sages. So they went, oh, sages, you know everything. Can you foretell if this girl is going to have a boy or a girl? So they were not in a joking mood. So they became angry. And the sages said, what she's going to have will be the cause of the destruction of all your dynasty. So they became frightened. They ran away, They went to the palace and told Maharaj Ugrasena what happened. So when they uncovered the sari, the pillow became an iron. Became transformed in a big lump of iron. Oh, this is going to be the cause of the destruction of our dynasty. What we should do with this? So Maharaj Ugrasena said, grind it into powder and throw it in the middle of the sea. So they did that. A small piece was left, so they throw it in the jungle. And the waves, they brought those finely powder metal to the shore, and the wind made them sting to bamboo trees. So the Yadu dynasty, they went to one place called Prabhakshetra to do some yagya, some sacrifice. And Kshatriyas, they're allowed to drink, liquor. So they drank some liquor made from fermented rice. And they became all intoxicated. And they started a fight. So they uproot this bamboo, sticks, and they start fighting each other. Those sticks have this iron on them. And even Krishna Balaram took part also in the fighting. and everybody was killed, but Krishna and Balaram. That's what the world heard, or saw even. Many people witnessed this, and most of them heard about it. Now the question is this really happened? The answer is no, didn't happen. Krishna created this illusion for the world. Like, for example, like a magician, he created an illusion. There was one famous magician at the time of the British Empire, British Raj in India. His name was Sarkar. So he invited the British for a magical performance at 4. British time is like sharp, So all of them went sharp at 4 there. Magician didn't arrive, 4:15. 4:30 hasn't arrived yet. They became real upset, They start to demand for their money back. 4:45, he says, if he come, we're going to put him in jail, He arrived at 5. So all of them shouting and angry at him, So he said, calm down, why are you so angry? Well, how can you ask that question? You said the performance 4 o'clock, it's 5. He said, what are you talking about? Look at your watches, it's 4 o'clock. And 2,000 people look at their watches, and it was 4 o'clock. So that was his first magic act, If a magician can do something like that, what to speak of the supreme magician? Krishna is the supreme magician because he's bewildering all of us. Although we are spirit souls, eternal, a servant of Krishna, we are believing that we are this body. I am Indian, I'm American, I'm a woman and a man. This is all the illusion created by Krishna. But he also gives the solution in Bhagavad Gita. Get out of this illusion. Don't stay in ignorance. The Vedas said, Manas tamasima jyotirigama. Don't stay in the darkest of ignorance. Come to the light of knowledge. Knowledge will make you free from ignorance. Only due to ignorance, people do bad things, like smoking, drinking, eating meat, and all these things. These are bad for your soul and your body too, and for others too. So why keep doing these things only due to ignorance? So to dispel this ignorance, Krishna is giving best advice. Learn how to control the mind, the senses, Worship me, become my devotee. Then the mind becomes pacified. Then the mind doesn't demand so many things. So, another story of magician that shows the idea, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained the story that once family magicians, they went to a palace to perform for a king and his family ministers, And they were a couple with 2 children and 2 teenagers. So they were performing nicely, and the magicians, they were so good that the queen herself stood up and took a pearl necklace and put it on one of the boys' neck, out of appreciation. So the other boy said, I am your elder brother. You must give this necklace to me. And the boy said, why should I give it to you? She gave it to me. So they started a fight. They took sword and started fighting. And they killed each other. When the mother saw their dead body, you know, of her children, said, I don't want to live anymore. She took a knife and killed herself. And the father said, without my family, I don't want to live either. He took a sword and also killed himself. A ghastly scene, you know, blood everywhere, dead bodies, you know. Everybody was shocked, and they came to enjoy, and they, you know, saw all this horrible thing. So they collected the body for cremation and all these things. And after a week, the king received a letter, and the letter said, we are the family magicians, and you rewarded us for our performance, but not for our last performance of our death. If you want to reward us for that, we are in this address. So all the family run there, you know. All the ministers, everybody, and they were alive and safe. So if a magician can do something like that, what to speak of the supreme magician, Krishna? So he made the world believe that this had happened. Even after all this supposed, you know, war, Krishna was sitting under a banyan tree. And a hunter, he found this small piece of iron that was left. So he sharpened it and made it the head of an arrow. And he mistook Krishna's foot to be the head of a deer. And he shot the arrow. No? Now, some people mistakenly, atheistic, say that this arrow killed Krishna. That's a big mistake. If you read the Bhagavatam 11th canto, the arrow didn't touch Krishna's foot, landed next to his foot. And the hunter was an ordinary hunter, was Bhrigu Muni. He was suffering a curse. So he came, apologized to Krishna for his mistake. So Krishna said, now I will do something to bewilder all the atheists. So Krishna created a body from material energy that looks exactly like him, that is made from material energy, with an arrow on the foot. And then he disappeared. No, it's an honest spiritual body he went to. The demigods saw him passing through the skies, you know, going to Goloka. So this is to bewilder the materialistic, atheistic people. Krishna has that power. Devotees are never bewildered because they know the truth about Krishna. Jamma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tattvataha tyakta deham punar jamma naiti mameti sorjuna. Those who understand the truth about my birth and activities as divine, as transcendental, they never come back to this world. Rather, they come back to my eternal abode. That's Krishna's promise. So to understand Krishna and truth is a great science. Great, great science. And you can only learn the truth about Krishna from Krishna's devotees, not from mental speculators or a scholarly point of view, you know, or professional reciters of Bhagavad. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. We have to hear from Krishna's pure devotees who are actually in love with Krishna. They don't say any path will lead you to the same thing. No, they never say like that. If you buy a ticket to San Francisco, you're not going to reach Miami. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, those who worship the demigods, they will go to the demigods. Those who worship the forefathers, they will go to them. Those who worship ghosts, they will go to them after death. But those who worship me, they will come to me. The third offense of chanting the holy name is to think that the names of demigods like Shiva and Brahma are on the same level of chanting Krishna's name, Vishnu, Lord Vishnu's name. That's an offense. It's not the same to chant Kali, Kali, Durga, Durga, or Hare Krishna. It's not the same. Because demigods are servants of Krishna. They are subordinate to him. So this idea of everything is the same have spoiled everything, you know. Yatamat tatapat. Any path you choose is the same, will lead you to the same destination. That's nonsense. We are not afraid to say it is nonsense because it is the truth. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, all path leads to me, isn't it? But some direct, some indirect. Some in the opposite direction even. You may go to LA, but you can go to opposite direction. So we have to be careful not to misinterpret the philosophy. You know? Krishna conscious philosophy is very clear, and those who are not devotees or mixed devotees, sometimes they interpret things their way. So we should not be misled by that. So it's very important. We have three authorities in Krishna consciousness. Shastra, the scriptures, Sadhu, the saintly persons, and Guru, the spiritual master. And Guru and Sadhu, they always rely on Shastra to speak the truth. They never said, in my opinion, this. No? They said, no, this is what Bhagavad Gita, this is what Bhagavatam say. So in that way, we don't make mistakes. Prabhupada said, I'm not perfect, but what I'm saying is perfect because I only say what Lord Krishna says. That's the perfection. So here we find two great pure devotees meeting together, and as soon as they come together, they want to speak about Krishna. They want to discuss about Krishna. Because that's enliven the soul. We are a part of the Supreme Soul. And naturally, we are attracted to Him. Like the iron is attracted to the magnet. But suppose the pieces of iron are covered by dirt and mud, then they are not attracted. You have to clean them first. So the cleaning process is given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Cheto darpana marjanam. Please clean the heart. Bhava mahadevagni nirvapanam. Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam. Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So this chanting of Hare Krishna is the highest spiritual benefit for all mankind because it gives this opportunity to cleanse the mind, the heart from all dirty things. Only to these dirty things we are not feeling the attraction to Krishna. So when the small pieces of iron are cleansed from the dust and mud, and you put them near enough of the magnet, immediately they are attracted, isn't it? Immediately, it's natural. So first we have to clean our heart by this chanting of Hare Krishna, and then we feel immediate attraction, natural. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema, this love of Krishna is dormant in the heart of every living entity. And has to be reawakened. And the process to do it is simple and sublime. We have to chant always without offenses the holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Any doubts? Or comments? Yes.
Guru Maharaj, you said at the beginning that there's some occasional activities, pastimes that
Yes.
Krishna has, and what are some of the ones that are not occasional?
The eternal pastimes called Nitya Lila. They happen here when Krishna comes, and they happen also in the Goloka Vrindavan. Like, for example, Krishna's eating, or Krishna's dancing with his friends or the gopis. Like that. All this, everything. But killing the demons. This only happens when Krishna comes to the material world. Or he's going to Mathura. Sometimes the spiritual world, he also goes to Mathura. But he comes back the same day. And he goes riding on Kaliya. Kaliya became devotee there. So Krishna ride on Kaliya to Mathura and come back. And he goes to kill Kamsa. But there is no Kamsa there. So Yoga Maya created Kamsa. You know, so-called. Understand what I mean? That described by Sanatana Goswami in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Krishna's pastimes are mysterious, difficult sometimes to understand. That's why we have to hear only from authorized devotees. Haribol. Any other question? All right. Thank you very much again for coming and hearing about Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Premanandi Haribol.